Just a warning. Stella got her box today of treats and has these new treats. I went through the stuff this time and I looked for only stuff that was, well, I was looking for stuff that was just made in the USA, but there was some in Brazil, but I was looking for ones that had more regulations, the more natural products. Having what I went through with Winston has really made me a lot more aware of the animal's diet. So I looked and I found these ones, and there wasn't ingredients. One of them is made in the USA, and two of them are Brazil, I think. But they say they follow all these regulations, whatever. But the ingredients are just what it is. There isn't a bunch of chemicals and shit in it. But so she's never had one of these before. I think it's some kind of animal tendon. It's kind of disgusting. But, you know, I mean, that's what... I think dogs are scavengers. Like in the natural, if they were just having to go out, I don't see them... I mean, in desperate situations, I could see them, like, killing something. But I think they're much more of a scavenger. So I'm sure this is like a delicacy to her. But anyways, so you may hear chewing. And if you have a sensitivity to those kinds of noises, just letting you know. I went this morning, yesterday, she was having such a bad day that I decided I was going to get her some CBD. I was going to drive all the way to town and buy it and make treats myself. But then I started thinking, well, I'll just check and see what tinctures they have. And the place I like to go, that's not that far, they had some that was specifically for dogs. And when I was looking it up, in these other things, it was saying that the dogs shouldn't have THC, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But in this one, that is specifically made for dogs and has a bunch of stuff written about it. And it has like 1 THC to... this is where I'm horrible with numbers because it could be to 6 or it could be 200. I don't know. Look it up. But anyways, it's got a dab of THC, and it says it makes it a lot more effective for the CBD to work. And I'd heard that from my daughter before in humans. And so I went and drove and got it this morning. And usually when you get the tincture, you have to, like, especially for her size, I have to fill up the whole dropper, sometimes twice. And, you know, to get any kind of relief for her. Yesterday she was just limping around, and oh my gosh. And when she's really uncomfortable, she just, you know, she wants to go outside, then she wants to come in, then she wants to, you know, oof, just wears you out. Well, when it's happening, I'll think like, okay, don't bitch, you're getting exercise. She's forcing you to get up every 2 seconds. So, you know, that's what's meant to be. But this one that I got today, that it says that, so when I read how much to give them, it said in the little dropper 0.25, which was like a couple drops. So I gave her that much, and then it, you know, she seemed like she was not really feeling it. So I gave her a couple drops more on a snack, and then she ate it, and then she just went and slept. And that's what she needs to do when her hips and stuff are bothering her, I think, for the arthritis. Because when she takes a break during those times, then she rests them. And it just seems like, because I've seen her barely be able to walk. And then I'll start giving her the medicine, and she will just, you know, kind of lounge around and rest for a week or two. And then when she gets up and goes, she just seems like it's perfectly fine, back to normal. So I think that the more I can get her to rest and take a break when she's having these, and it's a change of seasons right now. So I bet you it has something to do with the swelling or something in her. Maybe there's something that is blooming that makes it more, I don't know. She really is loving this thing though. She's like wrestling it. So cute. So I think it's so cool how it doesn't take that much to make them happy. Yesterday I was listening to David Rodriguez. He's been having a few videos lately. Sometimes he gets so worked up. I really like that guy. He's funny. Sometimes he was a doomsdayer, and I had to okay, I can't listen to this because I don't see this all going south. I see it all going straight up. And but lately he's on one, and so I've been listening to him. And he's funny. But he was talking about, because he lives on a border town, and he was talking about he's been talking about a lot of stuff with crimes that go between our countries, and the people that are born into these crime families is like there's no really any choice. It's just the way that they have to survive, and they've done some horrible stuff down there. He was talking about, but he said he doesn't really judge them or whatever. But the other thing he was talking about with them was these families that he's gone to, their houses, not the criminal ones. He's talking about young kids in that get pulled into these crimes under these cartels and stuff. He's talking about, those poor kids. But, and it's kind of like the same thing as the ones that are, I don't think you're allowed to say this word. It's slavery for humans. So basically it's the same thing, I mean, do what we say or you're going to die. But what I really liked was because when he was talking about the families he's met and how he had gone to dinner at someone's house, and their house was, what was he saying? It wasn't a cardboard house. It was concrete floor. I think it was one room. Just their curtains were like those dollar store tablecloths. Everything was just super, super poor. But he said the people were so giving. Whatever they had, they would share. They were so loving. They were so happy. And that's the thing that I've always found, and I know I've talked about this before, because that's one of the things I love about going and traveling, especially going to places like Mexico and stuff. The people are so happy. Oh my gosh. They're just happy, pleasant people. And they just are, they're just not miserable, and they have nothing, and they still are appreciative people. They're just nice, kind people. And they're always, when you travel there and then you come back, oh my gosh, that first entrance back into, people who seem to have everything but are just not happy at all, especially the airport. It'll just run right over you. People are just, so many people are miserable. Like, what is going to make you happy? How are you going to find your happiness? Because it's up to you. You got to save yourself. You got to figure out what's going to make you happy. There's no magic savior that's going to come down and save you and fix it all for you. It's your job. That's your soul's journey. That's your soul's job to do for itself. That's claiming your sovereignty. That's taking care of yourself. That's figuring out, what's going to make me happy. How am I going to find my happiness? And it has to do with having healthy relationships. There's no doubt about that. And, I think maybe I talk about them like haphazardly. I don't know. But no matter what, I think that there's some people who will listen to me chatter on, and that they will get what I'm saying, and it will help them. It will help them to have another perspective that they didn't have before. And, I think that's what it's all about. I don't need to go and shove my opinion down anybody's throat. I can just put it out there. You can listen. If you get something from it, great. More power to you. And, but yeah, I get bothered by people who just think like they've got all the answers and do what they say and you will be saved and stuff. No, there's no shortcut. Yesterday when I was talking about the, being isolated for months the first time. It was that long, cold winter. The first winter I was split up. The first one I was alone with my brain injury. That one was rough. Oh, that was a rough one. Man, I was so suicidal. I kept on just seeing myself hanging from, and I would never, if I was going to kill myself, I know exactly how I would do it. I'm known for, ever since that movie I watched, when it was, gosh, it was a long time ago. I can see it in my head. I can see the actress, but I have no idea what her name was. And she was tall and kind of thin. And it was when they very first started doing these post-apocalyptic movies and the end of the world movies. Like, that wasn't a thing my whole life. This, I come at you now like, fuck. But I think this one was a nuclear bomb, when that was our biggest fear. That one was gonna go off, and that her whole family was gonna die, and all she had was her little kids. She took them all in the garage, and what happened? They'll sit in the car. It's peaceful. And I was always like, fuck, that's the way I do it. It's just peaceful. Go to sleep. And I would never hang myself from the rafters. It just looks violent as fuck. And I think from a past life, I think that's, as wacky as it may sound to some people, but I've had visions of it. And especially when I had my past life regression, one of them, and I saw this whole thing about me being hung, and that made so much sense. It took so much pain out of my neck and shoulders. Oh my gosh, I used to not be able to get through a day without horrible migraines from these spasms. If your stuff's all jacked up, your muscles are just constantly, spasming, and they'll go in these tight, oh, it's horrible. Once I saw that, though, it relieved so much pressure in my shoulders and my head. But I saw a whole thing, and I would never, ever choose that as a way to go. And just like the one where I was told about the past life of being stabbed in the stomach, and that woman had no idea when she was telling me that I have a birthmark where she said I was killed. See, I go off on these side road, and then I get lost. Well, I was talking about, you have to heal yourself. It falls on you. There is no magical fix. And in that first year, when so much painful things were hitting me, then I was super absorbed in that, of the stuff that was coming to me, and stuff that I needed to heal about myself, that I needed to see about myself and recognize about myself, and understand that I shouldn't have to change myself at all to be loved. And if somebody doesn't love me, that's not about me, and it's not about them. It's just, we're not in alignment. We're just, you don't have to be in alignment with everybody. And I'm grateful for the people who have come into my life that have taught me that I need to love myself. It's an important lesson, but that's what I was going through that year. This time in this isolation, I was so much more healed. Before this even started, I thought I was like completely healed. I was talking to some other girls, and you get together in these little chats with these other spiritual people, and we're talking about, oh, I feel like totally healed. I got it all together. And there's always more. There's always more things that come up that test you or show you, or it's not like you just become healed and then becoming more healed is just your perspective is just changes. It doesn't mean everything is fixed. It's just your approach is different. How you deal with people is different. Your triggers are different. I don't have I'm not triggered if somebody doesn't like me. I'm not triggered if, somebody thinks poorly of me or whatever, And so many people become so defensive and attacking like right here, I'm putting myself out there. I'm making myself vulnerable, and that's a hard thing to do. And, okay, let me finish this one thing. Because there was another thing that just made me think of, see, I got too many side roads. Damn it, so what was I going to say? But in this one, when I've been in this quarantine, then being alone and being in silence and having different things to go through, like a lot of stuff. But I had new ways of looking at it, so it was coming still. But the thing that really started, I think that is when I really started hearing them. Like I could hear them talking to me before. Like they would just talk. But now it's like being alone is like I talk to them all the time. They're always talking to me. They're always doing stuff. And it, like I started this already 3 times. And the first time I started, I think I started coughing as soon as I talked. And then the second time I started to say something and something fell. So then I was like, okay, hold on. And then I turned it back off, and then I have to do my prayer, make sure that, whatever messages I'm putting out there, I want them to be for the best for people. I want my intent to be clean and clear and, drawing energy from a higher realm of being of love, and it's where I will focus, where I want to pull my energy from. So anyways, I will do those little prayers before I start talking and ask, for them to tell me whatever messages they want me to put out there. So I think that being alone has helped me to, and I know that, I know people who I'm related to who would think, okay, well, you're mentally ill if you're hearing voices. It's not like that. It's different than that. I've been in that simulation thing where it's supposed to simulate mental illness. And I also was so sick that I started hallucinating, and I could hear them and see them and stuff. And that was so scary. Yeah, this is different than that. It's very different. And I think, I've talked about the stuff with schizophrenia before. I think there's going to be a lot of re-examination in the future about that. And a lot less drug therapy, I think. But, so the other thing I was going to say is that, when I very first started, it was hard for me. I couldn't even stand to look and see myself. It's still, like, I'm still blurry from here. So it's not like I can see a sharp image of myself. I have no idea. But still, before I couldn't even turn and look. I couldn't stand to see how I moved. I couldn't stand to hear my own voice. And now I feel like I've gotten much better. I can look at myself and I can feel more comfortable. And just since I had been noticing that in the past couple days now, I've had a few different people that I have seen on YouTube talking about the same thing. And that is another thing that I have noticed as well is, okay, lady. Oh, you're so bossy. Hold on. I have this little ottoman here, so I put my leg up on it. So anyways, I just thought that that was funny, but I have noticed recently how many times I have been talking about something or said something, and then I'll see someone else say the exact same thing. And so many times when I have been like, I could be texting something, and at the same time, the TV will say the same words I'm writing, or will answer exactly what I'm saying. I mean, weird stuff like that, where you start feeling like so connected. And with the people, oh, I'm gonna have to not wear this lip gloss. I feel like I'm drooling. So if I'm drooling, I forget. I can't feel over here. It just feels like this weird feeling, like it feels weird. And I have had that before. So, if I'm drooling, sorry. But it starts making you feel like so much more connected, like you're on the same wavelengths with these people. Like people are seeing the same thing as you, they're understanding the same thing as you, they're it's weird because you cannot be talking to them or having a conversation with them or even know them, but just to know that they are on the same page and seeing the same things as you, it just makes you feel connected. And then I like the things where I'm writing something and it is said at the same time. I can't even tell you how many times that has been happening lately. It's so weird, but I like it because I feel like it's definitely communication. Yesterday when I was talking about the tarot thing, and I think there's a lot of people, like people who get communication from it, they know what I'm talking about. Like there's no question. I mean, the stuff that is said is so exact about your own life and your own questions and stuff. So you can tell when something is answering you. And then this morning, this has been like a weird day. Like last night, I just all of a sudden just woke up and I was just laying there and I could not get comfortable. Of course, Stella had she had the whole fucking bed. Every time, I find her, she's like in a whole nother place in the bed. I don't even feel her moving. But so when I woke up, I'm like way over on the edge and I just couldn't roll around. Sometimes like when you get woke up, then it's just like, okay, I'll just keep rolling around until I get comfortable and then I'll fall back asleep. But it was like I was just wide awake. And I came out and checked what time it was like 1:15 in the morning or some shit. Maybe 1:40. I don't know. Not a time I want to get up. And so I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So I thought, okay, I'm just way too wide awake. And so I think, okay, I'm just going to sit here and smoke a bowl and then go back to sleep. That's the perfect reason to have indica. I mean, got people taking NyQuil. Like they had me, when I was a nurse especially, they had me on so many sleeping pills and all this shit. God, they just fill us with chemicals. When, there's this herb that just grows, takes care of so many different things, and it's got so many different strains, and it's all natural. So, I sat here and just smoked a bowl, and then once I felt more relaxed, then I went back to bed, and it's still, there's something just weird about the whole night. But when I woke up, I love it when I wake up and it's light coming in the windows. There's so many times when I wake up and it's dark still. So when it's light, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've slept so late. It's so nice. I feel so rested. So I, this morning when I got up, I don't remember. This is another one of those days that is like, I was going to go to the store and get Stella's medicine. I wanted to do my yoga. I don't know. It's been a weird morning. Like, I did some stuff outside. Like, I've just been doing a lot of stuff. And it's funny, too. Like, when you sit and you think about, I want to do this job, and get this project done. And you think, like, that's going to take me all day. And then you go do it, and it's like, you're back in, like, 20 minutes. I was like, that's it? 20 minutes to get everything done? But still, you get a lot done of all these things that, seem like they were big. and now they're all done. So doing that stuff, but I don't know what it was. I think I couldn't find anything to watch or something. So then I went on YouTube and wish I could remember. That's the thing that I hate about having a brain injury is it's like haphazard thoughts just like flow. Like you can't find the connection between thoughts. They're just like in memories and stuff. It's just free floating out there, and none of it connects. So in that was significant to me in the beginning because I was very type A before the brain injury. You know, I was just like, oh, it has to be perfect. And now I'm not like that, but now I mean, I couldn't be. There's no way. I mean, it kind of takes it out of you. So what was I gonna say about that? Well, okay, so this is what it was. So last night when I was awake, and then when I even went back and was trying to go back to sleep, but this ringing, oh my God, was so loud in my ears, like this frequency. It's not like ringing, it's like a frequency. And it's like, it reminds me of when I was a kid in Texas, and you go outside and the cicadas would be in the trees, and it's this sound, and it just is, it's everywhere. I mean, you never have silence. There's always this sound in your ear. And so, you know, I have that all the time. And sometimes it'll come in and it'll be like super, super loud. And then it will like, oh my gosh, I feel like, okay, my eardrum's going to bust on this. And then it will fade back out. It's really weird. And I've had it since I was a little kid. Because when I was a little kid, I'd be like, hey, you guys, you hear that? What is that? And everybody like, what are you talking about? I don't hear anything. I'd be like, you don't hear that? And then, no, what do you mean? Be like, oh my gosh. So I really started thinking like, I have some kind of weird dog hearing. I hear like high-pitched dog whistles or something. So, you know, I didn't think that much about it. But it has continued. I continue asking people my whole life, do you hear that? You guys hear that? And I've had a couple people, not at the same time I'm hearing it, but a couple people say, oh, I don't hear it, but I do hear those. I'd be like, it's so weird. And then I saw that show recently where that guy was talking about it. There's all these, this is the thing is, I can't remember all the parts. It's always that. But he was talking about these sounds and these frequencies, and I don't remember if it is like electrical current is putting out a sound, and like there's all these sounds, but not everybody picks up on them. Just some people do. And so I guess I'm one of those some people do. And sometimes they're so loud. And lately the people have been talking about that there being a new tower put out here. And but I do get these weirded kind of things like, because I don't trust the government at all. And I know the bullshit. I've seen enough of the bullshit they've done to know they're evil. And they would definitely use frequency to do stuff, to harm people, control people. I mean, that's part of what their whole plan was with this kind of putting those in there and putting these little computer things in there, and then, you know, total control. I've even seen it in movies that they always have to put it in a movie first. It's their way of getting our consent, because I don't know, there's like a clause in free will, I guess. You can put it, we don't actually have to sign off on it, we just have to not react to it, and then I guess we've consented. I'm not sure how, but somehow that's what they think. So in this reality, that's what it is apparently. So they put this stuff that they're going to do. And that was definitely one of them, with this control, with the frequencies and the towers and these things inside of us that they have injected. So these frequencies, and I started getting more weirded out recently. I would say like in the last 6 months, we're starting going, oh my gosh, what if this is like, what if they're trying to use a weapon towards me on my own head? And they, you know, there's only some of us that pick up on it, and they're using these like really high pitched frequencies to fuck with our heads. And it's so loud right now, so loud. It is so hard to explain what it sounds like. But so in the middle of the night, it was, oh my God, it was so loud. And I sleep with a fan on for the white noise, and it was above the fan. I couldn't hear the fan over it, and I was like, okay, you've got to get out of your head. You've got to stop focusing on it. You've got to take control and focus on the fan noise. Focus on the fan noise. Stop focusing on it. If it is a weapon of some sort, you've got to block it and stuff. So, you know, in my head, I'm doing these little, you know, putting stuff up around me and stuff, and focusing on the other sound. You know, and I just don't know. I'm not sure what it is. This morning on Twitter, I asked if other people were getting it, and I got a lot of different responses. A lot of people with ear damage, a lot of people with tendonitis, a lot of people with different things. Tendonitis, you have dizziness too. I was together with somebody who had tendonitis. When they found out they had it, they couldn't even walk. It was like having like being on a ship, I guess, because it messes with the equilibrium. And he couldn't stand up. He kept falling, and when he even tried to walk, it was like, and his was pretty severe. But anyways, the doctor said that that's tendonitis, and it's a virus, and some people get it and it'll go away in 6 or 8 weeks. In rare occasion, it can last much longer, but it messes with your equilibrium and stuff. So this isn't that, you know, this high pitched frequency. And then the people with the damage and stuff of being around high, loud noises. You know, I mean, think about those where there's jobs where you have to wear those headphones. You know, those big ear muff things. Oh my gosh, see, she's back already. Oh my gosh, I'm still talking. Hold on. Ooh, it's kind of cold out there, huh? A little cold. Okay. So, okay, don't knock over my thing. I scooted it way up here so you wouldn't get it. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to tell something. And then there was these people who were asking about, you know, well, have you ever had your head hit? Have you ever had this and that? You know, a whole bunch of stuff. And so then that made me think about, well, yeah, I've been hit in the head a lot of times. And the first time that I remember being hit in the head was by my dad with that chair. And there was a few more times I've been hit in the head since then. But I just thought, I think that's kind of a more rare thing to get hit in the head with a chair by your dad. And that is right here. I have this I guess it's scar tissue. It's like a lump. And when I was younger, it would get really swollen. And there would always be people would be like, what is on your head? What is that big lump on your head? I don't know. Maybe you guys can still see it really good. I don't know. But anyways, it would get really swollen. And it would go down. I don't think it does it as much, but it's probably still noticeable. But, no. This is what I'm talking about. When she gets, maybe I'll have to give her some more medicine. It's worn off. Okay, go lay down again, okay? Go lay down. I know you love those treats, don't you? You're just so happy today. Okay, but please, you can knock over my thing again. I love you too. I love you so much. But don't knock over my table. It's like I don't have a studio set up. I have an old TV dinner tray table thing, whatever, you know, those old table things. With my phone sitting on it. But there was something I was going to talk about with the thing with oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, you're in a mood, aren't you? Maybe I'm not going to be able to talk anymore today. Well, I mean, it's a long day. I mean, I can always talk again if I feel like it. I can do whatever I want. I'm a grown-up. I'm an independent woman. If I want to talk 2 times a day, I can. So maybe I will. So have a great day. Bye.